Warning! Our content is for entertainment only. We're not financial advisors. All decisions you make are at your own risk, so please do your own research or consult a professional. Are you an armchair analyst? Or a degenerate gambler looking to break a profit this year? Well, perfect! In this video, we'll be exploring the pivotal changes that are looming over the financial landscape this year. Will central banks hike interest rates to quell the flames of inflation, or slash them to ignite economic growth? Join us for just a few minutes today as we explore this financial dumpster fire. Let's start with what the Federal Reserve, or the Fed, actually is. It is the United States Central Bank. They are tasked with overseeing monetary policy, regulating banks, and preventing the economy from going tits up. But what actually makes up the Fed? The Fed starts at a central point as a board in Washington, D.C., with 12 regional banks and many council members throughout the U.S. Their goals are relatively simple: foster job growth, control inflation, and keep a certain percentage of the population poor. Haha. Just kidding. Now that we've got the basics down about who the Fed is, aka the Federal Reserve, it's time to dive into their game plan for 2024. Picture the Fed as the big boss of the US economy's money, with a major focus this year on tackling inflation.
Oh my God!
Without tripping over the economic hurdles laid out. So when the new year rolled in, the Fed had a big decision on its plate. What to do with the interest rate on the money banks stashed with them, known as reserve balances. They landed on keeping it steady at 5.4%, a choice all the top dogs at the Fed agreed on starting February 1st, 2024. This decision is like the Fed walking a tightrope, trying to balance just right. They're being super careful with how they handle money matters, all thanks to the twisty-turny road the economy's on right now. Let's take a wild ride through the recent past with the Fed's action-packed journey from 2022 to 2024. Imagine the Fed as the captain of a ship navigating through stormy inflation seas, trying not to crash into Recession Island. In the thrill ride of 2022 and 2023, the Fed was like a DJ at a party, turning up the interest rate knob not once, not twice, but 11 times. They cranked it up to a target range between 5.25% and 5.5% by July 2023. Levels we hadn't seen since the days of flip phones in 2001. This was their battle strategy against inflation, which had gone from chill at around 1.2% and 4.7% in 2020 and 2021 to absolutely wild, hitting an average of 8% in 2022. By 2023, they managed to get it to simmer down to 4.1%. After their July 2023 rate hike party, the Fed hit the pause button, letting the rates chill at their peak as they watched inflation start to behave itself. As 2024 dawned, the Fed hinted they're ready to switch up their game plan. Now, they're focusing on keeping inflation in check without cranking up the rates further, unless something really shakes up the economy. Everyone's on the edge of their seats, wondering if and when the Fed might start cutting rates, but the Fed's playing it cool, waiting for a sign that inflation is heading back to their comfy 2% target before making a move. This cautious vibe is all about the Fed's big mission, keeping prices stable and making sure as many people as possible have jobs, without putting a damper on economic growth. The meetings of the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, throughout 2024 are going to be key. They're like the strategy huddles, where the Fed's plans for tackling inflation and boosting the economy will take shape, keeping a sharp eye on how prices are moving and how the overall economy is doing. Buckle up, because the Federal Reserve is about to get a makeover in 2024. And it's not just a new coat of paint. We're talking about big changes in the crew steering the US economy's ship. The president has been busy picking out new members for the Fed's Board of Governors in Washington, making it a year of fresh faces and goodbyes. First off, let's welcome Dr. Philip Jefferson, who's stepping up as the new vice chair. Then there's Dr. Adriana Kugler, getting the nod to join the Board of Governors. And don't forget about Dr. Lisa Cook. She's not new, but she's sticking around for another full term, with her current term wrapping up in January 2024. But wait, there's more. It's not just about hellos. Some folks are saying goodbye due to mandatory retirements and the whole circle of life thing at the Fed. For instance, Loretta Mester, the big boss at the Cleveland Fed, is hitting the retirement age in June 2024. And then there's a passing of the baton in St. Louis, where Alberto Musalem is taking over from James Bullard starting in April 2024. These changes are all part of the natural ebb and flow within the Federal Reserve System, which includes the big brains at the Board of Governors in Washington, D.C., and the presidents of the regional Federal Reserve banks scattered across the U.S. Why does this matter to you, me, and everyone who doesn't speak econ? Because these are the people who help decide whether your loans and savings get more or less expensive. Their decisions on monetary policy, financial regulation, and the economy's direction are a big deal. So, when there's a shift in the lineup, everyone from economists to investors to the average Joe and Jane pays attention. It's like changing the quarterback or the head coach for your favorite team. The game might start to look a bit different. Thanks for joining us on this financial roller coaster. If you found our dive into the Fed's maneuvers and the upcoming changes in the financial landscape as intriguing as we did, don't forget to hit that like button, leave us a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to stay updated. DailyBubble.com is proud to bring you this content, and we're just warming up. Keep an eye out for part 2 of this video, where we'll unravel more financial mysteries and offer insights into what lies ahead. Remember, our content is for entertainment purposes only, so make sure to do your own research or consult with a professional before making any financial decisions. Catch you in the next video.